With the state the gaming industry is in today, with AAA titles getting more and more expensive to make, and quick, relatively easy to make indie games dominating the Steam marketplace, it's always refreshing to come across a game that tries something different and succeeds with flying colors, in this case, almost literally. Firewatch is a beautiful game, a surprising leap across the color wheel considering the title's creators are alumni of Telltale's Bleak and Brown The Walking Dead series, there's no denying that, but it has accomplished so much more than graphical fidelity. Firewatch is a groundbreaking piece of fiction, a comment I'm surprised to say is not limited by the video game medium, but instead truly amplifies what it means to take part and control an interactive story.
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
It begins with a slightly different take on the boy meets girl premise. Henry, the main character, meets Julie in a bar, as one does, but it's up to you to decide whether he's cool and collected or drunk and desperate. You're going to get a dog, but you're going to decide between a scrappy little pooch or a loyal German shepherd. The results, which I won't spoil here, end the same, but the little details and actions you choose affect how Henry reacts to later events in the story, and set up why he's decided to enter the Wyoming wilderness for a summer of park ranging, where he meets a new friend to take his mind off things. The dynamic of Delilah and Henry are at the heart of Firewatch's story, and an effective contrast to your isolation as a player is your only source of companionship and interaction with others. The woods of Wyoming are quiet and serene in the beginning of the story. They don't ask much of the player other than to walk through and soak it all in. You're tasked with doing some exploring, cleaning up trash, picking up food supplies, stamping out campfires and such, typical tasks that add weight to the monotony of Henry's decision to leave, but strange things start to happen. Unnatural things that show, other than Delilah's tower off in the distance, you may not be as alone as you think.
I don't know, maybe it's biologists, you know? Well, they don't want people traipsing on their precious lichens.
What's a lichen?
Well, wouldn't you liken to know?
Oh my god, goodbye.
The game constantly feels reserved, as if it's holding back from the player in every aspect of its presentation. The minimalist graphics, the slow sway of trees in the wind, the isolation, the build-up of mystery, even that quality can be displayed by a storm in the distance, a random item you may or may not find, or a prying Delilah so bored she can't help but try and get to know you.
Panties?
They're what?
I don't want to say that word again.
Why, 'cause you're 12?
The storytelling is effectively visual at many moments, and coupled with the fact that the game doesn't hold your hand navigating the map with waypoints, you're forced to pay attention to your surroundings. You can completely miss small details that flesh out the story.
Should I be worried?
About what?
We can't get help if we need it.
Oh, you're tough, Hank. You don't seem like the guy who likes to ask for help.
I'm not freaking
Other simple mistakes, such as pissing off Delilah, causing her to shut off her radio for a while, truly make the game feel like you're Henry, like you exist in a world that wasn't built just for you.
Hello, Henry. Having a nice afternoon?
In the game's scary moments, and there are a few, there are no cheap jump scares or random loud noises. There's a building tension throughout the story that's extremely earned through the environment and writing. Firewatch has done an excellent job of creating dialogue that sounds realistic. People actually talk this way. It's sweet, it's comical, it's sad, it's withdrawn. There are no one-liners or obvious setup jokes. It's human.
Help! Oh god, it's an emergency!
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got eyes on a tornado. I gotta get out of here.
A tornado in the heart of the Rockies?
Yes!
Holy moly, I need to call this in. Tom, Two Forks sees a tornado. He says he needs an evac into my sector. It's a meteorological impossibility. There haven't been tornadoes in the greater Yellowstone region in 100 million years. You're gonna need him to stay and take a detailed personal account, even if it means giving his life. Okay, I'll tell him. Sorry, Hank. No dice.
Man.
Despite the great build-up with the story and with the characters, it doesn't end on the best note. Right as it seems to be reaching an epic, revealing conclusion, it sweeps the rug out from under you with a twist that feels like a cop-out. Without spoiling anything else, I understand what they were trying to accomplish with it, the angle they were going for, what it means to the plot, but certain events which take place earlier on contradict some of the actions characters perform and the eventual revelation of what's been going on. It's an unfortunate letdown to a still incredible story and experience.
Whoa, that's not legal, right?
No.
All that said, Firewatch feels like not just a step, but a long hike in the right direction for video games.
Smart.
Shut up.
The writing and voice acting is top-notch, the mystery is expertly paced, equally intriguing, and the perfectly placed little details thrown about allow the player to draw conclusions about the story and characters on their own. It doesn't wrap up as nicely as I'd hoped, but this is still a short and sweet experience I'd recommend to almost anyone. A novella in game form that not only takes full advantage of the medium, but storytelling in general.
You've got a front row seat for what might be the biggest fire of the year.
Yeah, it's really going.
I'm gonna call it in. They'll send in a hotshot crew for some suppression, but I bet we'll be stuck with her for the rest of the summer.